Hello, I'm David Thicroft. There are many ways of recording. Hello, I'm David Thicroft. There are umpteen different ways of converting an image to black and white in Photoshop. I'm going to show you one that I'm quite fond of. The first thing we're going to do is go to the layers palette, and I'm going to put in two hue and saturation layers. The top one I'm going to go and completely desaturate it, so we've got a reasonable monochrome to start with. So next thing, I'm going to go to the lower of the two layers, and I'm going to change the blending mode to luminosity. There we go. We now move the saturation slider and the hue slider. We can fine tune what we see. I'm going to leave that at that. At this stage, I'm going to click Control to highlight the top layers. We've got them both highlighted. Control G, group them, and I'm going to group them together. I'm going to call this group by double clicking the title as foreground. And I'm going to put a layer mask on there. I think I double click that. We'll go by one. Right, so there's only one layer there. I'm going to paint in black on there. The foreground colour is white at the moment, so I'm going to click X to swap it. And I'm going to paint over, to start with, soft edge over the edge between the sky and the foreground, and then I'm going to fill in everything else with black. And when I let go of the mouse button, the mask will appear in the foreground layer mask. Next thing, two more. Hue and saturation. Adjustment layers. Again, the top one, I'm going to desaturate it. The lower one, I'm going to change the blending mode to luminosity again. And we again can tweak the appearance. I'm going to leave it like that, so leave it that. I'm now going to go back to the foreground. I'm going to right click the layer mask, and I'm going to add mask to selection. See, there's the mask. I'm now going to select inverse, and I'm going to just activate the top hue and saturation layer, and I'm going to produce a curves adjustment layer, and there it is. You see the curves layer has come with its built-in mask because we have the selection activated. So I can now just drag this down to emphasize the sky a little bit. So that looks quite powerful. If I wished, I could now press Control to highlight all those three, Control G to form a group, and double click that, and we'll call that group Sky. An advantage of keeping all the layers is that you can go back and change them if you wish. One thing you might like to change, if we open up the foreground group, click on the lower hue and saturation layer. You remember we put the blending mode to luminosity. We change it to colour and then go to the other hue and saturation, where you may find it makes more and more obvious changes. So that may be, and also if you click the colorize button, that can change things as well. So now I've done that, I'm going to leave it like that. And you could, of course, you could do the same thing with the sky. We go to the sky hue and saturation, change the blending mode of that to colour, and possibly make some alterations to there as well. Similarly, we could now go to the curves dialog and make some alterations to that, but the sky looks better in the other, so I'm going to change the hue and saturation back to luminosity. So there we go. So those are some more changes you can make. So nothing's fixed as long as you use the file save as PSD and keep the layers. It's very easy to go back and change things around. As ever, thanks for watching.